The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
And hello again, everybody. Glad you are here. Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, who will be your wingman for the next hour or so, as we talk about all things RV and RV lifestyle related. And today we're going to be talking about, some big dirty, poop, crap, whatever you want to call it. Specifically, we're going to get really deep in the subject of dog poop with a man who knows his you-know-what about it. And we're going to see how some of our correspondents are trapped up north of the U.S. border up there in Canada. But thank you for being with us. We hope that you will hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell right there next to it so you'll receive a notification each time we release a new video or whenever we go live. So the RV Show USA live stream is different from the nationally syndicated radio show that airs on Saturdays and Sundays all over the country. And we are most grateful to all our affiliates that carry the program. If you can't catch us on the radio, you can always catch the commercial-free podcast of the show on your favorite podcasting platform or on our website. The podcasts are released every Monday morning, I believe at 5:30 a.m. Central. Again, the radio show is different from the live stream, and we do this live stream every Wednesday night starting at 7 p.m. Central sharp. So if you're new to the show, welcome. The RV Show USA is about, it's about two main things. It's about promoting the RV lifestyle in an honest way, and it is about RV education. When I look at the people who are buying RVs, it's sort of bittersweet. While I want everybody to love RVing, I see too many good people that I think rush in. They buy out of emotion rather than out of logic. That is not good. It's not good for the buyer. It's not good for the RV industry. So what we do is we share the good, the not so good, and the occasional, as I say, downright ugly parts of RVing, because we want you to be a happy camper. To be a happy camper and to stay a happy camper, you got to be a smart RVer. So that's what the show is all about. While people are jumping on the live stream, our actual official live stream will begin in just a couple of minutes, and you do not want to miss it. In the meantime, the folks you see on the banners behind me, they're some of the greatest, most honest people in the RV industry. If you have an opportunity to do business with them, I promise you, you will get the first-class treatment and an amazing experience with real professionals. If you missed it, we're going to start out tonight's actual show with a very interesting guest who really knows his you-know-what. Specifically, he knows a lot about dog poop. Yeah, you're going to find him and what he does very interesting, I'll guarantee you. For now, though, a real quick word about one of those great businesses that helps support the show, and that is RV Station here in Texas. RV Station is Texas's most loved RV dealership. They got 8 locations across the state. Their newest state-of-the-art location is in Waco, and RV Station has the inventory. Even during these times when dealers don't have all the units that they want, RV Station still has plenty. Plenty of the best brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers. RV Station's got them all, and at the lowest prices you'll find anywhere. The owner of RV Station sharpens his pencil more so than, I think, any other dealer in the state of Texas, and he will beat any price on a comparable RV, and if he can't beat that price, he'll tell you so. The reputation that RV Station has built is what every other dealer in the state of Texas is striving for. They really are. It's a reputation of quality, integrity, customer service. Essentially, that's why every RV Station buyer gets the 5-star experience guarantee. It's a guarantee when they buy their RV, when they sell their RV or trade their RV, and every single day they own it. Nobody will beat an RV Station deal. Nobody. By the way, if you have an RV that you like to trade in on a new one, your trade will be worth more today than it ever has been before. Camping season's here, right? And RV Station is your stop for making this camping season, the best one ever. Great folks at all 8 of their Texas locations, and you can tell them I said that. Check out their website. Visit them today at rvstation.com. Again, rvstation.com.
Class A, B, or C, a bumper pull 2, a 5 or toy hauler or van. Watching out for you, just like he's supposed to. And that's why he's called the Wingman. The Wingman's back on the radio again. and streaming live.
The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
Get burned. He's back on the radio again.
All right, so today we're going to talk about a subject that every camper I know has an issue with, and that is the subject of poop. You know, the old big dirty in the campground. Dog owner or not, I think you're going to find this entire segment quite interesting. Now, make sure you hit the bell, if you would, hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell. That way you will receive our notifications when we do release a new video. And make sure that you post some of your comments below so we can see what you think. All right, let's talk about some dog poop. Joining me to talk about the nasty subject of feces, a big dirty, a dog poop in our campgrounds, and one possible solution to seeing less of it is Jay Rettinger. Now, Jay is the CEO of a company called Bio-Pet Laboratories in Knoxville, Tennessee. Jay, tell us what in the heck is Bio-Pet Laboratories, and how does it connect with RVers and campgrounds?
Alan, well, thank you for having me today. I'm looking forward to talking about poop. You know, it's kind of a crappy job, but somebody's got to do it. So let's have a little fun here. Bio-Pet Laboratories, we are an animal genetics company. We were founded in about 2008, doing a number of animal genetics products. And we had a team of scientists in 2009, 10, somewhere in there, that were living in an apartment complex, and there was poop everywhere. And she was tired of seeing poop, and she came up with an idea of how do we find out who's leaving this crap everywhere, and Poop Rinse was born. So today, Bio-Pet we have a number of services that we provide animal owners using genetics and technology, but our favorite is Poop Rinse, where we can tell you who's not picking up after their dog.
I know that talking about testing a dog's DNA makeup sounds kind of crazy to some people, but it seems like technology nowadays makes it a whole lot less crazy sounding.
Yeah. So simply, we have a team of scientists that were doing research and development, and we had a scientist in particular who was living in an apartment complex that was covered in dog poo, and she was tired of the crap everywhere. And so she came in one day and said, we got to figure out who's doing this. Let's see if we can develop something. And Poop Rinse was born. And so Poop Rinse is designed to test and register dogs, and then we can tell you who's not picking up after their dogs.
What do you say to the pet owner that goes, it's just poop, man. I mean, it's going to go away. Let it rain a little bit. My dog's just got little poop, not great big poop. Why is this such a big deal, Jay?
We hear that quite a bit. Oh, it's a fertilizer. It's poop. No, poop is dangerous. I mean, poop gets people sick. It gets dogs sick. It's loaded with bacteria. It's got E. coli. You got to kind of think today, our dogs are not out grazing the land and eating berries and twigs and even, animals. Like, they're eating food that we make in a factory that's got all kinds of preservatives and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that stuff, as it comes out, it's dangerous. It's not made to just run into the ground and run into drains and streams. Nobody wants to go fishing in a stream that's littered with dog poop.
Yeah, and nobody wants to step in it, obviously. So
no.
What kind of resistance, and let me back up, who are your customers in the RVing world? What kind of people, what kind of campgrounds? And I know you didn't just start this, you've been doing this for a while. Tell me about that. Yeah,
so our program has been around since 2009. Now, we have really gained a lot of ground in the past probably 5 years, but our customers are anybody that allow dogs, any pet-friendly places. We've had tremendous success with apartment complexes, but we have a lot of RV resorts, campgrounds that use our program, whether they're short-term stays or long-term stays. It is designed to hold pet owners accountable.
Well, as a campground owner myself, one of my most frustrating things is to have to deal with the slob pet owner that just refuses to pick up their poop. And I've tried everything, Jay. I've tried being nice. I've tried saying please. I've tried to saying, if we pick it up, we're going to fine you $10 per pile. I've tried everything. And it just seems like unless you hit people in the pocketbook, they're not going to change.
People aren't. It's ridiculous. People are lazy. It is gross. They will leave it there. You can try signs. You can try bags. You can try giving away, the little portable bags when people check in. They will not do it unless they're held accountable.
That's not everybody, but a large.
Not everybody.
But it only takes a few. 10%, 20% of people that don't pick up their dog poop makes it messy for the other 80 or 90% in the campground.
Al, it's funny you say that. We do a lot of studies. We get to study dog poop, and really, it's funny. People talk about dog poop. It's not a dog problem. It's a human problem. And so we get to study human psychology and human behavior. And what we see is that we see about 60% of dog owners are responsible. They will pick up. It's the other 40% that give everybody else a bad name. People, we live in a world where we love to live with our dogs. I have 2 dogs. I take them camping with me everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. But the 40% are the ones that can cause places to not accept these dogs. That, we got to go find a place to board them. We can't bring them with us because people are irresponsible.
I don't think a campground would ever initiate this new relationship with Bio-Pet Laboratories unless they really felt it was like a last resort. Am I right? Or is this just, they're just trying something else?
I don't know if I understand your question there.
So yes. Why would a campground say, you know what, I'm just going to go with Bio-Pet Laboratories because it costs money to send poop to you. It costs money to play that game, but I guess they see that you as the only solution to their pet poo problem.
It is. You're right. It has almost become a last resort for people. Campgrounds have realized that they've tried everything and it's not working. They need something, and they don't have time to be out patrolling all the grounds, all the free space, the green space. Mm-hmm. They need technology to do the work for them. And so, a lot of them.
What about pushback from campers and at the campgrounds? What are you hearing from the campgrounds? Because obviously you've got some that have been doing it for years. It probably wasn't easy in the beginning for them.
It wasn't easy, but it's funny because a lot of times you think, hey, people are going to think we're crazy and they're going to say, what? You're going to DNA test my dog? But we have seen that the pushback is actually minimal. When people understand that, what, I do need to pick up, it's kind of an education component in itself too. That, hey, campgrounds, when you register or when you check in and you've got a dog, they explain, hey, we use this program to help patrol our grounds and keep them clean. And a lot of people comply. The resistance when the program is actually implemented is more minimal than you would think.
Okay, Jay, hang on. We pulled a video off of your YouTube channel real quickly, folks. We're going to show you how Bio-Pet Labs gets your dog's DNA. So, Shamaya, let's go ahead and play that video real quick. It's only about a minute.
You've got enough other crap to deal with. That's why we make taking a DNA sample with our poo print swab kit easy. You need 1 kit per dog and keep dogs separated prior to swabbing. There are 2 buccal swabs in each envelope, 1 for each cheek. Have your tenant rub the first swab between the pooch's cheek and gum. You want to move the swab in a circular motion for about 10 seconds. Gently use your hand to steady the swab to make sure the cheek cells are collected. Put the swab in a good place to dry and do the same thing on the other cheek. While the swabs are drying, fill out the Poo Prints Residence Information Card and be sure to enter all of this information in the World Pet Registry. Give the resident their new Poo Prints tag. Now back to the swabs. Once they're dry, place them back in the sleeve and make sure the dog's name is included on that sleeve. Before mailing, make sure the DN number on the customer card, envelope, and tag all match. Put the swabs and information card in the envelope and send to the lab for processing. Each Poo Prints kit includes our basic life plan, so tenants can learn about the health of their dog. And if they want to do more, they can upgrade through the World Pet Registry to find out breed and additional health concerns. Because the bottom line, we love science and our four-legged friends.
All right, so that was a nice little message there. But my question is, if I go to a campground, the campground says, we need to swab your pet. by the time you get the results back at the campground, the camper's long gone. I mean, how does that work?
So great question. So here's how it works. So we have, when your dog is registered, that registration is their registration for life. You receive notification, the campground receives notification. It does take several days for those results to hit our lab and process.
Okay.
But it is not a one-time snapshot. We keep everything on file, our genetic profiles. So, for example, a lot of times what our campgrounds do today is, you have a pet deposit. You make online reservations. You have your pet deposit. You register that I have a pet. That credit card and information is stored on file. If you were to come back, if you were don't pick up your poop and that poop dings back to your dog when it hits the database, it's just retroactively charged.
All right.
It's kind of like when you steal those hotel robes.
I'm not guilty of that. Maybe the slippers from time to time.
I may have a couple at home.
All right, listen, Jay, hang on. Folks, what do you think of what you've heard so far? Do you think that is about time to say adios to poop in the campground? Post your comments. Or do you think this is just a nutty idea? I think it's just stupid. Either way, we'd love to hear what you think. So Jay, we have another video, and this is kind of the Semele one. It's about a minute long about how the campground collects the poop, if you will. It's more than just going out, scooping it up, throwing it in a bag. And it's only about a minute long. So, folks, here's how Bio-Pet Labs helps you keep poop out of the campground.
Let's cut the crap. No, really. Here's how you do a poo waste sample for Poo Prints DNA testing. First, write your name on the waste collection bottle. Make sure it's the name that your property is registered under and include the state. And take notes on where you found the poo by filling out this card. This is important because you might have a dog on your property that is not registered, which could produce a no match. Good note-taking makes it easier for you to find the poo perpetrator. Next, it's time to get a sample. Dog DNA is most prevalent on the outside of the poo and on the ends. So think of it like bread, with the best DNA samples kept in the crust. For best results, flip the poo over. The bottom part of the poo touching the grass is protected from the elements. Now, always using a new knife for each sample, cut a nickel-sized part along the edge of the waste and put it in the collection bottle and shake away. You're looking for a milkshake-like consistency. When you're done, place the bottle in the bag that's provided and mail it with the note card to our lab. We'll have results to you in about 7 to 10 business days after we receive the sample. And that's how you cut the crap.
I love that cute little video. So my question is, how much does it cost if I'm a camper and I'm a campground? Help me who pays the money and where does it flow?
Yeah, so it's really simple, and I know pet fees can range these days. They're one-time to nightly. To register a dog, the one-time registration charge, lab process and everything is about $40. Now, one thing that I want to know too, if you, in that first video that you played, we talked about our life plan and some additional tests. What we've done is we want to build a network of registered pet owners. And that's kind of what we've done across the world, to where when your dog's in there, you're registered once, and there are free benefits that you get as being part of this program. Chewy.com, everybody's familiar with Chewy. That's where they order their pet supplies. We've got discount codes and coupons. There's that life plan. So for $40, you're usually getting like $75 in free value, $75 value in free stuff as a pet owner. Now, to the campground, to test a waste sample is you got to have the kit. We have proprietary kits that are used. I call it the magic sauce that preserves that poop. Mm-hmm. You got to purchase those, and you got to pay for the processing, which is about $75 total.
Wow.
So it's affordable, and there are fines that range from $75 to recoup cost. Our goal is that we eliminate poop and that it is at a zero cost to our customers, that we're keeping them clean. But some range for more.
So if I'm a campground and I can choose to, hey, it's going to cost you $40 and or I'll split it with the camper or whatever. But from that first video, I will get a tag for my pet. Is that right? When we swab it, get a tag and I can put it on the collar signifying that if I go to another campground, I don't have to pay the $40 again because that dog's DNA is already in the Bio-Pet Laboratories registry.
Exactly. And we can add those pet owners to how many ever campgrounds they want. Like I said, we've got a program called Travel Dog, which was really starting to ramp up before COVID, which is designed for people that travel with their pets. It's kind of a discount club. You can visit all of our different locations. But you're registered once. You've got a tag that signifies that you're registered. And on the back of the tag is the dog's unique number that can be looked up in our system.
I did a video recently on our Better Camper video series about somebody not picking up their poop. And I mean, people were responding very, very favorably. And our work campers told me the other day, they said, hey, we're not seeing nearly as much poop because they're afraid they're going to get caught. This is really a way with the Bio-Pet Labs to really eliminate the poop. I had some people come and stayed with us not long ago, and they were talking about how clean it was, blah, blah, blah. They went to another campground. These are full-time RVers. They called up. They got a 3- and 4-year-old little boy, and they said within minutes after they got to the new campground, both boys had stepped in the big dirty. And it's just a problem that we have to deal with in every campground.
It's scary. It's messy. It's nasty. We had a story that we saw recently where a little kid lost their eye. They were on the playground. There was dog poop in the playground. They were playing, got it on their hands, had rubbed their eye, and they wound up losing an eye. It's scary.
Oh my God.
It's nasty stuff.
What are the biggest challenges that you have at Poo Prints in terms of getting campgrounds to join this program? Because I can just hear it already. The people that work in our front office are going to go, no, we'll lose business. And we might lose a little bit. But I don't know, what are your biggest challenges in getting this thing to take off even more?
I call it perception. Like people at first, when you talk through it, the perception is, oh my gosh, that is too much to take on. We have enough to do. It's just a lot of logistics and pieces. But really, at the end of the day, when you boil it down to and look at the process, it's really simple. And we have customers all over the country that have been very successful implementing it. And my message is this: if you don't do anything about it, you will continue to have the same problems in the same conversation. There will be new people, whether they're long-term campers or, they're just moving through. There will be somebody next week who does the same thing unless they're held accountable.
I love the concept. I know there's going to be a lot of pushback. I can just, part of me from the campground owner perspective, I'm thinking, ooh, that's a lot of money. And what if there's a false read? What if our staff picks up some poop, sends it in, and there's a false read? I'm out the $75 or $80 or whatever it is. So I want to make sure that every dog that comes into the campground, nobody's smuggling their pet in, so to speak.
You got to be careful. We have it in those videos. It shows cards and stuff, but we have mobile app nowadays that pet owners and our communities, our customers can use to get people registered. It covers. A lot of people are registering online. We have a link that can be put on your website to help cover those gaps to make sure people are not smuggling things in. We also, the term we use is adjacent property agreement. So our goal is that one day there is this worldwide network of all the campgrounds being joined to where if I smuggled a dog in, let's say in Kentucky at a site, but then I was down in North Carolina and did get registered, that they would hit. And because we keep those genetic profiles on our database, we have a patent database and we constantly rerun them. We've got a story. We had a lady, it was actually Kentucky and California, that had smuggled a dog into a community. It was not registered. She had left some presents behind in Kentucky. She moves to California and was seen walking the dog. It was registered. She left some presents in California, and when it hit our database, it indicated that, hey, she also left some in Kentucky. I'll tell you this, and I don't know if this is going too deep, but to help some campgrounds and understand the science too, people say, well, how legit is it? Like, how accurate are the results, right? Well, one, DNA is 99.999% accurate. My scientist gets mad at me when I don't say 100%. Scientists won't commit to that. But that's how accurate DNA is. We're ISO accredited, so we have protocols that we have to do as a lab to ensure that we have that accuracy. But I went in, so that's DNA. But then there's the accurate of the hit rate. Like, how many times are you going to get a hit on the dog owner? So I went in and looked at one of our biggest campgrounds this afternoon to look at their results and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
They've registered almost 2,000 dogs.
Whoa.
They don't have 2,000 sites. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not that big. And they have been able to match 80% of the poop that they've sent in back to offending pet owners.
Is the amount of poop going down from those people that, 2,000 samples, they started out sending a bunch and now there's getting fewer and fewer samples because the word's getting out there?
Oh, yeah. So it's funny. I talked about studies earlier. When you just start our program and announce, hey, this is what we're going to do, you see a 70% reduction right off the bat because people think, oh, no, I could get caught.
Right, right.
As you start to find and words get out and you send results in, or at least send results and get those results back. So, send the poo in, get some results with us, up to 95 to 98% of the problem just disappears.
I love it. What can
We've got signage. We work with you and your layout to say, hey, here's what we'd recommend, and putting some signs too about DNA testing.
And I noticed that in that first video that we played, I think they suggested that the owner of the pet owner does the swabbing because the dog is much more comfortable, obviously, and does it in front of the employee. So you make sure he doesn't go out and do it to himself and go, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes complete sense. We've got one of our sites. We've got a lady named Rita. Now she calls herself the dog whisperer, and she is phenomenal. And sometimes she'll swab the dog, but we recommend that the owner swab the dog. You want to make sure they're not swabbing somebody they picked up in the last town or the cat or something.
Right.
But she goes out to the sites and visits. And just is there to help facilitate and make sure the owner swabs their dog. And we recommend that people oversee the swabbing just to make sure, there's nothing fishy or crappy going on. And be glad, it's funny. A lot of people think that you've got to actually sample poo to register for our program. The swab goes in the mouth, nowhere else.
You don't have to touch it. What can people do if they're going, I like this concept? Can they talk to Campgrounds about it when they check in and say, you guys need to check out pooprints.com or what? What do you suggest people do if they want to get more involved and see this kind of thing take off, Jay?
Yeah, we have plenty of references. We recommend they reach out to us, pooprints.com. Obviously, a lot of sites stay so busy, they don't want their phone just ringing off the hook and people randomly reaching out. So we kind of filter all of those questions through us to those contacts. Reach out to us. We'll put you in contact with them. They can talk through how they implement the program. I'll tell you this. We love our references. We love our customers. We have a resort in the lower half of the U.S. It was a small mom and pop resort that was recently acquired by one of the largest organizations. And the story I was told is that as the couple was talking with, the new purchasers, the new owners of the resort, the one thing they told them was the best thing they ever did was poo prints. And I mean, that meant a lot to me and our staff. And I thought, wow, we were part of that conversation. And we thought that was cool that they thought we were one of the best things they ever did.
Well, listen, we're going to need to kind of wrap this up, but if you can, I know that a lot of people are going to have comments about our conversation. If you can get one of these campgrounds that's been doing the program with Poo Prints and Bio-Pet Labs to join me on the show, I'd love to talk with them directly. Yep. And wouldn't it be nice if people acted more responsibly? Then we wouldn't have to have a Bio-Pet Labs.
if people, it's funny. We're kind of working ourselves out of a job every day.
I don't think so.
I agree. But yeah, if people picked up, there'd be no need for us. We've got some people that want to talk to you. We'll get them on the show. They can talk through what they've done, how it's worked, and the success they've seen.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jay Rettinger. We will talk again, and good luck to you, okay?
Alan, good luck to you. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You take care.
Stay safe.
You know what, folks? Jay really knows his crap, as you know what, as they say. What do you think? We'd love to read some of your comments from people who are actual RVers, whether you're a dog owner or not. How do you feel about if dog owners were required to have their dogs swabbed in the dog's mouth when they went to a campground to just make sure of the DNA and make sure that they are picking up the dog poop? Let us know what you think, if you would, in the comments, and make sure that you hit that bell so you get notified when we release another video.